So guys, very good evening. This is Vaseem Durrani, and I'll be today taking you through the impact of the data analytics. Thank you so much all for joining in. There are still a lot many other people are still joining in, so we will start in another 1 or 2 minutes maximum. In the meantime, I just want to understand the audience here. So can you please quickly, guys, Okay, so thanks for the confirmation. So guys, quickly before starting up, I just want to understand more about you so that I would like to take this particular session a little bit more interactive and the output which we really want to extract from this specific session. So we should get more than 100% out of it. So my name is Vaseem Durrani, and currently I'm the director of Acods. That's a specific professional corporate training organization. And along with this, we have a Metafiser Tech consulting, wherein we are providing the different sort of project consulting to the different industries. And from like our vast experience, we are going to discuss about the data analytics today, and I'm going to display you the proper hands-on experience on right from starting from the scratch, how we can get started with the one of the very simplest BI tool, and what are the different you can say features which are available in it. And if you are you can say someone who is very newbie in terms of understanding the business intelligence tools, so then how you can get yourself started with it. Okay, so in this specific session you're going to experience not the full-fledged dashboard and full-fledged pre-built something. No, we will be building everything from scratch so that you will understand right from the blank screen how we have implemented certain things. Okay, but before that, I'll be taking you through how the businesses are getting their productivity increase, getting their revenue increase, or getting the data analytics using the business intelligence tools as a part of their everyday work uh, process, and they are transforming it and how it is benefiting them. Okay, but before that, just give me the idea on the chat, like how many of you are freshers or the experienced. So can I know a little bit, just write on the chat, if you're experienced, write experienced, or if you're fresher, just write fresher. That's it on the chat, please. So those who are raising the hand, they're experienced or what? Okay, chat is disabled. Right, right, right. Okay, that will be enabled soon. Right. Okay, okay. Yeah. Now please check. Now please check and just write it, please. Great. So we have experienced, freshers. So we have a mix and match over here. That's great. That's great. Great, 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 great. Now, okay, so I've got a good enough answers here, experienced, and freshers. So now here, the very important questions comes up over here is, if I'm a experienced, Then few of you, like I just got the answer from Sami that he is familiar with the BI. That is very, very good. Now, most of the experienced people, for example, someone who have given the, let's say, 10 to 12 year of his or her life to the, let's say, for example, accounting, someone who have given the life to, let's say, for example, to, let's say, a banking industry, or let's say manufacturing, let's say production line. Okay, so what happens is those people become so much a subject matter expert in their specific domain, but in that last 10 to 15 years the technology have drastically increased, and we have lot of automations and lot of intelligence coming up in the softwares which is getting used on the daily basis. And lot of when I say intelligence, so that's a buzzword that you hear every day, that is artificial intelligence. So we have the incorporation of these intelligence and the machine learning concepts within almost all the softwares these days. So those people actually don't have the idea about this thing. And now what happens is when you have a new sort of softwares, then we always think as experienced person that we are lagging behind something, that we are really not aware of these technologies. Okay, and if we are a fresher, then yes, of course, from our you can say different curriculums that we are studying, whether we are from business administration, whether we are from any technical background, if we are not understanding and learning the artificial intelligence, again, whatever which is being asked in the interviews of any specific role these days, always the employers seek for a person who is having a, let's say, at least get started knowledge about the business intelligence tools, right? And someone, for example, like Mohammed have just written over here, is that he's from IT background and already familiar with Power BI, right? Now here, someone who is from IT background is already having a little bit knowledge about the Power BI, or let's say any other tool like Tableau or Data Studio, whatsoever it is. But what happens with the non IT background? The person who is let's say from accounting and finance background, so will he be able to cope up with that business intelligence tool features and the techniques which is there? And I'm telling you, yes, of course, these business intelligence tools are actually designed for the people who are from non-technical background, and that is what we are going to discuss here. So when you have given the life to any specific domain, that means you become a subject matter expert in that specific domain. So what the software giants have done, they have created a kind of a tool which can minimize the requirement of a IT person. So if you understand the conceptual knowledge about what is this machine learning algorithms, where it can be used to solve the business problems, then I'm telling you, you can actually become a kind of an asset for any organization who are seeking to become completely transformed and want to acquire all the aspects of the artificial intelligence and the machine learning within their operations and the different departments as well. Okay, so this is what we are going to discuss is over here. So this is very good that we have a mix and match of the experience here with us. So it's going to be very interesting. Now, so a little bit about me. So here, I just mentioned you that I have approximately 14 years, 14 year plus experience. And since the beginning of my career, I've been into providing the different sort of solutions related to machine learning, related to artificial intelligence. At the era wherein we were not having these business intelligence tools, we used to write all the codes right from the scratch. And that's why we have seen the transition of the technology right from the beginning, wherein we were writing all the softwares from the scratch. And now it's just a matter of understanding the operations and the features. You can drag and drop and you can achieve that thing to implement. For example, a forecasting solution, if you want to implement today, it's just a matter of 5 minutes if you understand your data. But at that, let's say 10 years back, we used to take, let's say, at least 1 month of a time in just to understand that data and write a proper scratch functions in any of the programming language to achieve that result. And that too with not much of accuracy. And nowadays, the kind of accuracy that we carry is very commendable, right? So that's the transition. we have seen, and due to that, we have a lot of different custom case studies and the solutions which we really and that's why we are providing the custom and different solution to the industry, and it is getting accepted within the different organizations as well. Okay, so this is a little bit about me, and here this is a little bit about Accords as an corporate training organization. We have dealt with more than 30,000 people as of now in IT as well as in the different domains, wherein the people have seen the transitions from the, you can say, normal working professional to a AI enabled working professional. And this is something which is the need of the hour for today. Today's world in 2024, the post-COVID world that we have, it's like era of generative AI. I hope everyone knows about the generative AI, large language models. So each and every company and the businesses, they are experimenting. The more important word over here is the experimenting with the different projects related to the conversational AI, so that they can again, why we are doing this thing, just to improvise within our you can say working style, so that our productivity and the race, we should be in the part of the race. Because organization, if they are not adapting this specific technologies now, they are going to be obsolete very soon from the industry. So that's the urgency we have, and same goes with the working professionals also. No matter we are from tech or non-tech, I have seen a lot of tech people who really want to understand. Let's say I'm a software engineer from last 5 years and I don't know machine learning, I don't know data science. So if I don't know that, that means I won't understand the co-pilot. I won't be understand the kind of a assistant that every developer these days is having, which can assist them in writing the code. So the efficiency of the developer also these days have increased by more than 60%, right? So that every person, every working professional all on this particular earth, they are trying to leverage the concepts of this business intelligence tools, generative AI, and a lot many other AI tools which are available over here. Okay, so as Accords, we are spreading this word, and we are providing the different type of trainings of this. And in the Metafiser Tech Consulting, that's a UAE based firm only, and in this we are providing the customized solution to the different industries, wherein we sit with the client, and then we understand their requirement, and according to that, we provide them the cost effective solution. When I say cost effective solutions, that means security wise it has to be intact, and then whatever data solution they require, we provide them with the cutting edge technologies which are available. It be it a you can say desktop based or software based, or be it a kind of a cloud-based solution. So both the solutions which are available right away. So that's a few things about us. Now let me take you a little bit. Now one more question for you, everyone. Like few of you have already given that answer, that you already have idea about the data analytics. Now just give me the little bit information. You are very familiar with the data analytics, or you have just seen, like, very familiar, yes or no? You only know or read few articles, then you write no. And if you have really experienced the data analytics, just write yes. Please, everyone. Okay, Mohammed, the brace, no, no, no. Okay, 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 okay. Got it, got it. Prasad, no. Mr. Nasir, okay, you have a very good experience. That means very good. So that means you are right now working with any of the like Power BI you just mentioned before. So I think you must be working on it, right? That's great. That's great. That's great. Jawad, you know it. Right. Okay. Okay. So here, so we have got most of us, we have got the no, and few of you already have an idea about it and very good experience also. That is very, very good. So if you have already got the chance and you have already got the project related to the implementation or implementing any report template on Power BI or any other tool, so that is very, very good. And for the people who have not yet experienced that, so let me give you the brief of it. Plus, we will just a second. Yeah. So when I say data analytics, so data analytics is not something which is new. Companies have been using this since we have the industry, we have been using it. Okay, so that means if you have a data that could be related to sales, that could be related to customers, that could be related to any specific operation or process of the company, be it an enterprise company or a large scale company or a medium scale company, or even the SMEs also, the small scaler company as well. Every company, they document each and every process of the organization, right? So they have already have a lot of data. And like in the Microsoft Excel general, like if you are working professional, or I'm telling you, if you are a student also, you have already experienced the Excel. Everyone works on the Excel, right? So when you are writing any particular stuff over the Excel and trying to create a static chart out of it, that means you're doing the analysis already. So we have been doing the analytics since so long. Okay, but nowadays the way we are working on this analytics is like completely transformed. Earlier we were like relying more on the tabular information, more of a numerical information, and trying to mark on a different colors those specific information which are important. So people, like for example, someone who is data administrator, someone who is MIS report expert, someone who is responsible for those kind of analysis. Let's say I'm a manager handling 10-15 people. So those 10-15 people will send the report to me, and then I'll be consolidating that report and creating that one Excel file out of it and sending it to my manager, to the stakeholder, for example. So that specific thing actually consume lot of time, lot of time. And nowadays in this 2024, if we are investing our time only just to consolidate those Excel files, that means we are wasting our crucial, very precious time which is there. We could utilize that time in doing some more productive things. And that's why the software giants have already seen those kind of problems that would going to occur in another let's say since 2015 we have the emergence of these BI tool. So they have already seen it decades back, and that's why they have built this specific product. So you can say the extension of the Excel file. Now we have a business intelligence tool which is having all the capability of the Excels, and with the more intelligence as well. Now when I say intelligence, that means it is already having lot of functions written at the back end of it, wherein you just have to get the data connected. The rest of the magic will automatically start happening. And I'm sure that is not magic, but of course you have to make that data a little bit more structured, so that the automated engine of any BI tool will work on that data and can bring out that information right from it. So all those technicality wherein you were writing all the functions and writing a VB script, if you want to make more dynamic Excel file of yours, then you have to write the VB script out of it. That all requirement is completely wiped off. You only have to understand your data attributes, and you have to just drag and drop those. The rest of the complicated stuff is being done autonomously by the BI tool. And that's what the process which is being transformed right now. Okay. And lot of decisions which are taken within the industry, they are not from their experiences. They make their data speak out before they take the decisions. So how they're bringing the specific information out from those millions of rows from their data. The data could be in the Excel form, could be in the CSV form, could be in the SQL Server form, could be in any damn form which is available, right? But how, as a human, how we can extract the information from those millions of rows? That is where the business intelligence tools comes into play. It actually fetches that information and bring the answer of those questions which you might not be thinking of. And that's the amazing part of it. And that's why not only in sales and marketing, not only in any specific field, the BI tools and techniques are being used in almost each and every industry. Each and every industry, I'm telling you, right? To bring out the information, and from that information create a proper insight so that we can actually take data driven decisions. And you see over here, we, and with the help of those data driven decisions, you can raise the productivity, you can boost the sales and save the cost. So few of the very important features of it, and very important, how you will raise the productivity of anyone, any specific organization, when all the workforce work more efficiently. And how you will work more efficiently? To reduce the time only just to feed those Excel files, right? Because I have a lot of examples wherein people were wasting 16 to 20 hours of their time in a whole month just to consolidate the multiple Excel file coming from the different vendors. We have provided them the solution on the Power BI by just creating a template on the at one time only, and then rest of the data is changing. If the file is changing live, then they are experiencing the same thing live. So they don't have to invest any single minute of them theirs in just to consolidate those files if you have a proper template and connectivity of data, right? So this is simple introduction about the data analytics. So it is not new, but the way we are progressing towards doing it, it's very much different now. So need of data analytics. We have already discussed about this thing. So I'll quickly go ahead with this, because this is little bit of just to give you a broad idea. Then I'll be showing you one specific data set, and then I'll be making you implement a few of the things. Okay. And for a few of you, I'll provide the installation link also, so that you can install the link. And after the session, you will be given one task, and that task, if you implement, then you will be getting a chance of getting the certificate from our side that you have already participated in this and completed one small activity task within the session. Okay, so all these things will be provided to you, and you will be getting the recording of this session as well. Okay, now the need of the data analytics. So we have already experienced a few of the points out of it. Gain the greater insight into the target market. For example, I'm from sales and marketing, and without sales, none of the service and the product can be flourish in the market, right? So we need to understand who is our target customer, who needs these services, so who all are our target audience. So for that matter also, we do a lot of churning of the data on these business intelligence tools, and without investing much of a time, we can bring those analysis like customer segment analysis, doing some kind of classification of our customers very easily within these BI tools. And then, of course, we did discuss this thing already, that enhance the decision making capabilities. So your decisions, which are not on the gut feeling based, these decisions are like data driven decisions, which are very, very important. Okay, and create targeted strategies in the marketing campaign. Nowadays, you might have already experienced this thing that that the companies are already rolling out the offers that is very personal to the customers. So it might not be possible that any specific company is sending message to me or sending message to you, and both messages are same. No, on the basis of the category of their customer, they might have put in me in a different category and put in you in a different category, and you might be receiving different offers from the company. That's just to make sure that we are providing the right services in a right way to the right customer, so that they will be having more revenue out of it. And then next point is improvise on the operational inefficiencies. In general, in companies, what happens is, if they are not getting the proper efficiency out of the employees or the workforce, what they start doing? They start doing the micromanagement. And that is something which actually toxicated the work environment. Nobody likes the work micromanagement, right? So to improvise on the efficiencies of the people, then we have a lot of things, like we have agile processes, we have sprints, and then we have meetings every now and then. So all these things could be like increase the like operational activities, be it a manufacturing or let's say any of the, let's say, insurance company or any company. So just to minimize the risk and improvise on the operational activities. Then, of course, which product and which service we should start in this specific region, so that we are going to have more customers. So these are all activities for that we were already been doing the data analytics. It's just you need to understand how we can do it more quickly, how we can leverage the power of the business intelligence tools to achieve all these things. So if you know this thing, this is very, very good. If you don't know, you should acquire this knowledge no matter in which field you are, no matter from which department you are, because each and every department would be requiring this. Now, you might not be the person who is developing this thing. Okay, like Nasir would connect with me over here. Like, you might be in a team which is getting these kind of a report every day. You might be in a senior management who is actually getting this the BI tool BI report every day, and if you are not able to interpret out of it, then again you lack something. So one team is who is responsible for creating these templates, and second team who are, let's say, business owner, higher management, managers, team leaders, they are responsible to interpret. So understanding those visuals, those very nice looking visuals, you should understand how to interpret, how to read those charts. So that's why it is required at different level of the hierarchy within the organization. So that knowledge in a different way is required everywhere. Okay, so that's very, very important point. Now, so when I say application of data analytics, so it's everywhere. Okay, I have noted down only 6 and 7 industries, but I'm telling you this is everywhere. So when I say retail industry, they are using it heavily. They are trying to minimize their inventory shortages, and they're trying to minimize their wastages of the product by not having the surplus amounts, right? Understanding their most valuable customers, and so on. The list could be very huge. And manufacturing industries are also trying to find out that they're trying to do it, the demand and the supply planning, wherein what would be the forecasted figure would be required so that they can plan their manufacturing, they can do the predictive analysis. So most of the things they are already doing it. So the AI and ML stuff is not the thing which is going to happen in future. We are already in future. This is our everyday task. We are experiencing we are using the AI and ML in almost all the softwares, in almost all the application which you use on your mobile phone. They are using the ML AI concepts every day. Finance industry is using it very heavily. The fraudulent transactions. See, I'm having a, let's say, account on HSBC Bank. So whenever any transaction happens which is out of the normal pattern, they immediately call us within 1 to 2 minutes. So how they are getting it? They are getting because they already have implemented one specific architecture and trained a lot of models in terms of pattern understanding, wherein, okay, this person have just done a transaction which is out of their pattern. So that's anomaly detection. So that anomaly, their system identified and send it to the operator just to make sure whether it's a false alarm or it was some legit alarm. So still there is a lot of the output of the AI is being monitored by the operators, means by the humans. So it's not fully automated, but of course we are at the stage and we are on the path wherein you are going to see all these things fully automated very soon. Okay. Now, marketing industry. So you also seen it that I just show you, due to the, like, with the help of the customer understanding the customer psyche, we are going to receive, or we are already receiving a lot of different offers from the companies. So you will see a lot of different marketing campaigns. In fact, on the campaigns also, we do a lot of A/B testing. So those things is what at the back end of those specific tools wherein you start doing the campaigning is utilizing the AI, with the help of which it is trying to find out which one is the best one, which is performing best, something like that. And e-commerce, I think you already must be experiencing the recommendation system wherein you click on any of the product and you start receiving the recommendation that someone who have clicked on this was interested in these products also. So you will start getting the recommendation. Plus, you will see the retargeting marketing as well. Wherever you go on any of the other website, it's just keep on following you. And then you'll keep on seeing with the different, what I would say, different discounts, you will start receiving that this product now is at the 50% discount, 60% discount, because we all love the discounts, right? Tourism industry. So they are also trying to understand and analyze their businesses in terms of the customer reviews. So when I say reviews, so customer sentiment analysis on the basis of any specific location, so that next time if it is decreasing, they can increase the customer experience, and if it is increasing, then they can start promoting it more. So it's just utilizing. And in all these industries, you will see one thing which is common. In the machine learning concepts, there are only 6, 7 things. Okay. Like I would say one, which is forecasting, prediction, second, then classification, third, recognition, fourth, then you have recommendations, then you have suggestions, right? And then sentiment analysis and anomaly detection. So 8 things now. Sorry. So when I say 8 things, so if you understand these 8 concepts, that can be applied in any industry. Because for us, this is different industry. But for these algorithms, it's the data. That data which is in the form of row and column. And that's why if someone who have a knowledge, not programmatically, you're not supposed to write any single line of a code, I'm telling you. But at least the conceptual knowledge is required. If I want to do a forecasting, what kind of data attribute would be required to me? If I want to do classification, what kind of data attribute I could compare? If I would like to do prediction, then I should understand regression. So that understanding is required, which is not difficult. Okay. And then rest part, the BI tool will do. We have a lot of no code tools available, which can enable you implement very large machine learning models without writing a single line of a code, I'm telling you. So it's just a matter of understanding these concepts. I'm coming on to that. I have a specific slide on this. Now let's talk about the demand before moving forward. When I say demand, that means this is live. If you Google it right now, you will see this. More than 500 plus positions are open in Indeed Gulf within the UAE region that they require the data analytics people. Okay, it's not like only data analyst. It might be finance analyst also. It might be healthcare analyst also. So someone who is into education also, they might also should have a knowledge of the data analytics. So approximately 500 plus open jobs already available. But do we have that skill set to compete with those? And I'll just share one of my experience wherein people get hired for that position, right? Someone, I have example wherein he has been made as a data science manager within the organization, and he was not at all competent in understanding those data science concepts. So what happened? After 3 months of time, he was rejected by the company. Same thing happens. People have the certificate with them so that they can get shortlisted. People know a lot of technical jargons. They get hired by from their communication skills, by their lot of different technical jargons. They get hired. But when it comes to real implementation, people actually get failed over there. So they take more than what it is expected time in terms of completing the task. And someone like few of them might are not able to cope up with the task which is being provided to them. So that's where these open positions are always left open. And that's where the project experience, I always emphasize on this thing. Content, learning, basic understanding, you can get anywhere, no problem. But until unless you have a project experience, something wherein you have a confidence that you have built it by yourself, until unless you have that, you are really lagging something. So until you implement, until you experience hundreds of problems, until unless you debug hundreds of problems, you will still be rookie in that specific technology. Right. So, for example, I think Mohammad Nasir, if he is also still there, then he might have like implementing the BI or any of the report. He might have come up with hundreds of problems. Until unless you solve those hundreds of problems, you are not experienced in that specific domain. So, experience is not your age. It's the kind of debugging you have done in any of the work, kind of solution you have provided in any of the work, that makes you experienced, right? So this is very important. And same goes with the data analysis as well. 914 live data analyst job in the UAE on the Gulf talent as well. So this is a few. You can see the Glassdoor also, you can see Bayut also, a lot of other platforms which are available. But again, getting shortlisted also is another challenge. And after that, cracking the interview is another challenge. And the most important challenge is after getting shortlisted, selection, then when you join the job, then every day you will be bombarded with a lot of tasks. Then until unless you are able to solve those tasks, it is very difficult to survive. Exactly. Very good, Mohammed. Yes. I was expecting this answer from you because this is something which we also face every day, and you also mention it rightly. Now, so few of the use cases just to make you or connect with you. HSBC Bank, I just gave you an example wherein anti-money laundering system they have already implemented. And that's why I was just mentioning that the AI is not a future, it's a task of present. We used to say when we were into not into college, we were out, we were 1 year 2 year experience, we used to say that AI is going to rule or AI is going to transform everything, and now we are already experiencing this thing, we are already seeing this thing. So this is something which is already happening. We have to, as a working professional, we should transform ourselves. Until unless we do it, then we are going to lag behind, right? So that's very important. Now see, HSBC, already I have given you the example of that. So that's one of the case study. DHL, this is again the global leader for the supply chain and for the different freight managements. They have seen more than 25% increase in their growth after adopting the AI ML concepts, after almost automating their 100% process. You also see, like on your mobile phone itself, you can track your complete journey of your any specific delivery. One simple example. Then Edmunds is one of the car shopping e-commerce platform wherein they have seen drastic change after acquiring that recommendation and suggestion system within their e-commerce platform. They have experienced more than 211% conversion rate. So earlier, let's say, for example, if their conversion was, let's say, 10 only, now that conversion have increased to 21 to 22. So that is the impact that the companies have already experienced by acquiring these things. Okay. Now, so we were discussing this part. So I have noted down a few questions, not much of them, but these are the questions which like everyone used to ask. One is this and another one is in the next slide. So do I need to be a math expert because this data analytics and the data science concepts, the machine learning AI you are talking about, there's a lot of maths in it, man. So will I be able to do it? Yes or no? So here, as I was mentioning you earlier, that the complex thing, the complex tech part in these BI tools is already done for you. So it's already hidden from you. And they have provided you a very nice user interface with the help of which, if you understand the concepts, for example, if you want to know the statistical implication, for example, standard deviation, variance, kurtosis, then let's say, for example, you have mean, median, then you, if you understand them conceptually, nobody is going to ask you derive it for me, just write a formula for it. Nobody's going to ask you this thing, but they might ask you for what purpose they are getting used. If I say regression, so they are not going to ask you to write that line equation, but yes, where you are going to use the regression, what kind of application can be built using the regression. This is something which everyone will ask you. And if you're not able to answer those, no matter how ninja you are in the BI tools, nobody is going to hire you for that matter, because the conceptual knowledge is something which is must. If I want to implement the classification, what kind of algorithm will be used, what kind of data attribute will be required, so only conceptual understanding with hands-on experience. Means I wanted to implement the anomaly detection, I did it without writing a single line of a code, but I know in which data attribute this anomaly can be applied. That's why I'm able to extract the result. So this is something myth wherein you need to be expert. No, forget the math of it, but need to understand conceptually. That's very important. Okay, next one. So do I need to be an IT person to get into the data analytics? See, we all have learned how to use the Microsoft Excel, right? So that too was also built by the team of the developers, right? Keeping in mind that these things will be the day-to-day task of each and every working professional, no matter it is IT or non-IT, right? IT people also fill the Excel sheet every day. Same is the case with the BI tool as well. That is being built only kept in mind the non-IT people. Why? Because we have huge number of working professionals. They are from completely non-tech background. So the tech is already hidden. The complex algorithms is already hidden. If you want to build a classification algorithm, you will see a feature, one of the box. You build, you click on it, drag and drop it, select the attribute, you will see the classification up and running. But the algorithm which is applied, what kind of results you have obtained, what kind of comparison is done, that is all at the background. So you are not supposed to go dig deep into it. No, not required at all. So that's the amazing part we have here. And that's why these BI tool is built keeping in mind those 10 to 15-year experience, or let's say people who are going to get job in that non-tech field, they should gain the knowledge of this, so that they will always think of the intelligent solution, and they always do the task more efficiently and more swiftly as compared to the person who have not gained this skill yet. And that's why this is the immediate requirement for everyone, that everyone should enable themselves as a at least they know, they have already experienced the BI, whether in a template form, whether in a form of just getting the reports every day, or whether he was a part of a team wherein he was responsible for building those reports for their domains, for their departments. It's like that. Okay, so this is about, you don't need to be a tech person or an IT person to just get into the data analytics. But yes, of course, little bit of tips and trick, like what kind of rules should be applied for creating a proper data visualization, and then what should be the combination, which chart should come after, which chart should come before any specific chart. Okay, so those type of a knowledge has to be there, so that you also, when create a report, then you create a report which is visually very aesthetic and very easily understandable as well. So there are a few rules only, that's it. Now, okay, we have already done this. So here, let's talk about, when I want to understand this BI tool, then what are the essential elements of it? This is in context with business intelligence tool only. So when I say data analysis, the essential element is, let's say, for example, I have my company data, which is there in the MySQL servers. So how to get that data connected with that SQL server? Okay, now here we have so many BI tools available in the market. So the major chunk or major market share is being taken by Microsoft Power BI. And you all know that why this Microsoft product are always very accepted in the market, because of the user friendliness. They are very user friendly, right? So because of that user friendliness, the Microsoft Power BI, along with its security wise also, it's very good. Then second market player we have is the Tableau. Then we have Data Studio of the Google. So these are the three market players, and then we have other tools also available. And once you understand one tool completely, then the rest of the other tool, acquiring the knowledge of those is not that difficult. Guys, you will be, yes, you can get that presentation, but presentation will not be of that use of yours. We will be implementing one task on the Power BI as well. So you will get that also, and you will be getting the recording of this whole session. So don't worry about that. Just be with me and try to understand what I'm trying to convey the message to you. Second process is something which is very, very important. After you connect your data from any source to the BI, then the next important stuff is you have to convert the data into the form which can be processed within the BI. What does that mean? That is something which is a little bit complicated. I'll be providing you the link, guys, to install the Power BI, so you can do it on the later stages as well. I'll be providing you the link. The Microsoft Power BI is completely free. Okay, so no worries about the costing. It is completely free. You can download and then you can proceed with the task after that. Now, what I was telling you is ETL process. The process after connecting, you have to convert your data into the form which can be understood by the BI automated engine. Now, when I say intelligent, that doesn't mean it is having a lot of magical power which it could understand your data very easily and autonomously. No. Here, a lot of functions are written at the backend and a lot of queries which are written at the backend which will start executing autonomously. But they can only process those data which are in the form that is required by the automated engine. And that is the process which is known as converting the raw data which you are downloading from the data source into the form that is understood by the BI tool. So that is known as structured form. So converting a raw data into a structured form. This whole process is a little tedious process and known as extract, transform, and load. Only in a very rare case, it is only direct extract and load, no transformation required. Why? Because someone who was a data administrator have created a file in such a way that it is directly loaded and understood by the BI tool. Okay, otherwise, most of the time, your file would be very, very dirty file. And you have to process and transform the data. Now, what is the meaning of this transform? Transform means like removing the null values, removing the missing values, changing the name of the columns, removing some unused columns. A lot of stuffs would be there. Removing the extra characters from your strings, then changing the not a number to some specific thing. So a lot of you can say you have to create that data into a neat and clean form, so that there would not be any error when any of the BI query will be processed on your data, right? So that is the meaning of ETL. And then after that, once the ETL is done, then the third step is actually a magical step. The thing which you don't have in the Excel, you can't create the data models. And that's where the important intelligence comes into picture in the BI. You create the data models. What does that mean? For example, you have 5 different sheets, or within that one Excel file, you have 10 sheets. Now, relating one table with respect to other, so that the data of one table can be traversed with respect to the other. Okay, I'll show you the example of this. But this could only be happening when you create the data model within the BI tool. And if you learn it very nicely, I'm telling you, more than 60 to 70% this task is done for you. Okay, so data modeling is something very important. Creating the relationship of one table with respect to the other table, so that the data of one table can be traversed with respect to the attribute you have in the other table. That is very, very important. And then the DAX functions. Sometimes it happens that, okay, yes, you have an autonomous engine, you have intelligence, but you have to create a new column so that you can have your own formula to be put in over there. For example, you have a sales transaction, you have the costing, and you have the expenses. Now you have to calculate the profit. So for that matter, what you have to do is, yes, you are right. It's one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, a lot of combinations which are there. So creating that cardinality, the relationship with the specific cardinality that you're mentioning. Yes, that's great. So DAX function is data analysis expressions. Here you will be writing the formulas just to attain your desired result. For example, we write the formula in the Excel also, right? Similar to that over here, but here we have more advanced formulas also. Okay, so similar to those formulas in the Excel, but little bit more advanced formulas also available in your data analysis expressions. Now, can you see, we have already four steps, and we have not covered the data visualization yet. And that's where generally we market the data analytical tool as data visualization tools, because for the end as an end product, or for a business owner or stakeholder, they will only see that nice, fascinating chart. But the chart comes at a very later stages. If you build your report and you do all these stuffs in a very better way, then visualization is just the, I would say, 20% of the task. That's it. And then you have this after the visualization. When I say visualization, that means you have a very nice looking chart. So you need to understand where to use bar chart, where to use circle chart, where to use tree maps, where to use waterfall charts. So those are few important tips and tricks, like where to use the map charts. So a lot of different charts, donut charts, pie charts, a lot of charts which are available. Then what are the implications of each and every chart, where to, in which comparison, what kind of chart can give more better results, more visually appealing plus more informative, right? So that information, and we should have a very good hold on these kind of a stuff. When we have it, yes, we can say yes, we know most of the part. So these are the 5 steps. After that, we create a report, and the report could be a combination of multiple charts, like 20, 25, 50 charts. But when we are sending a dashboard, like for example, we are creating a dashboard view for the stakeholder. So for that, we need to have only 4, 5 important charts only. When we are creating a report view, dashboard view for my manager, it could have only, let's say, 10 to 15 charts. So from that report, we have to create multiple dashboard views with respect to the departments we are sending, with respect to the person in the hierarchy of the organization we are sharing. So that totally depends. So we need to understand that part as well. And then we have another part, which is sharing and collaborating. So this is, we can share that report, we can collaborate with that. Let's say, for example, we have 5-member team, so we can collaborate the work. We can actually get the right away, we can get the comment from our team leader, whether we are going on the right way or not. So he or she will comment it right away, and then you can do the amendments within that same stuff. You don't have to email anyone, you don't have to do any other thing, you don't have to go on any of the other tool. Right from that same tool, you can actually achieve everything. So that's the amazing stuffs we have in it, and it's really transforming the way we are working right now. And I'm telling you, this is not going to go or removed from the companies. It's going to get installed in each and every company. Plus, every month you see the upgrade. When I say upgrade, that means nowadays in Power BI, I don't know if they have left any specific data source which cannot be connected with it. Right from the normal Zoho CRM also to the any other CRM like Monday CRM or Bitrix, any CRM you can connect right away. So when I say CRM connection, that means we are feeding the data every day on the CRM, and now that is also getting connected with the BI. So see, every day, day-to-day task also can be analyzed within the BI tool. So that's one example, right? So any data source, you see upgradation. For example, now your company is using any CRS ERP, and you don't have the connector, direct connector for it. So you can just quote a request to the developer team. So what they are going to do is, you might see in the next upgrade, you might see that specific link wherein you can connect your ERP or BI. So in any of these steps, you're not writing a single line of a code. Okay, even though within these BI, we already have the option wherein we can write the Python code if we need some custom scripting requirement. But that comes on a very later in the rare stages, wherein you don't have those capability within the BI and you want to write some custom code. Okay, but I'm telling you, 99% of the time, you will not require it if you do and understand all these steps in a more prominent way, in terms of more hands-on experience way. Okay, now, so let's experience the BI. So that's the time for the real demonstration. I hope you got a little bit idea about from the explanation which I just did for you. Okay. Now, before this, let me share this link with you guys. This is the downloading the Power BI link. So that's for everyone. Just a second. Okay. So that's the link. Yeah. So that's a link to download the Power BI. And once you click on this link and paste it on the browser, you will see this URL, this page. You have to click over here, download. Okay, and then you have to select this one if you're using Windows. And I'm sorry for those who are using Mac, since I'm also using the Mac, but I have the separate disk wherein I have a Windows installed. But for the Windows user only, we have this. Okay, so click on this one, and then you have to click on download. So for those who don't have the BI, they can just simply download it like this, and then they can perform the task later on. Okay, now, so I've already provided you the link. Along with this, I'm going to provide the data source also, which I'm going to use in this session. So that's the Excel file. I'm sharing it on the chat again. That's getting downloaded. Yeah, so please download this data set. You will be getting the task or receiving the task from this data set only. Okay. So please download, everyone. Now, let me show you. Just a second. Yeah. So when you open the BI for the first time, specifically Power BI I'm talking about, so it will look like this. Okay, so that's a green screen in front of us. That's a window which is coming in front of us for the first time. So let me cross this. So this is the first view of the Power BI. Okay, now when you open up this, so there are important three windows, and then we have the top view. Here we have a top view here, and we have a lot of things here on the right side as well. So let me take you through this specific UI of the Power BI, and then I'll little bit explain you about the data set, and then we will be loading the data set right away over here. Okay, Nasir, you have it. I think you must be having the updated one. This one which I'm using, it's the outdated one. This is having the data till 2016. I think you must be having till 2020 or 2022. It's already available in Kaggle, but that is okay. That's very good if you have it. Now, see over here. So AdventureWorks is one of the company that is being created virtually by the Microsoft just for the analysis of this. Yeah, right. Okay. Now just see over here. This is a very user-friendly interface of the UI. So let's try to understand this view that we are able to see it right now. It's known as the report view. Let's see the leftmost side. We are here. This is report view. I would request everyone just concentrate on the screen of mine for another 5 minutes, and then I'll take you through the data, and then we'll directly perform all those. Out of 5 steps, we'll perform out of those 6 steps, I'm going to perform 5 steps. Okay, total. So just be with me and try to understand. Okay. See here, this is my report view. Okay. And we are here wherein we start creating the report. But right now we don't have any data. That's why it is looking like this. We don't have any source. And that's why it is suggesting me get the data from any source so that you can get started with it. Let me click on the second option over here. This is table view. When you click on this table view, here you will be able to see the data exactly as you see in your Excel file. There will not be any difference because your data will be in the tabular form, row and column. I hope everyone understand the row and column. So you will see the data in the row and column form. Now, when I click on the last option, this is known as the model view. Let me click on this and minimize this bar. This is the model view. Can you see these cards which you're able to see in the image form? These are representing the tables. And here, the connection that you're able to see, it is showing the relationship from this table to this table, this to this, and this to this. And this kind of a circle is never advisable, but this is just to give you the idea. Here you will do the modeling of your data tables. Okay, so we have 3 different views: data model view, table view, and report view. Okay. Now, on the basis of which view you are, on the right side, you see few of the things. Here, the data will remain same. Data is all the data that you load will be available to you over here as the drag and drop fields. All the columns of each table will be available to you as a drag and drop field. And here you will have a lot of properties in terms of you can change here, but here right now it's not showing anything because we don't have any data table and columns available to us. Now, over the top, you have a lot of options. Here the data, queries, relationship, calculation, because we are here. Let me go up. So here you have insert, calculation, sensitivity. So again, on the basis of your selection, over the top options will keep on changing. If you select the table, then table option will appear over the top. If you select the column of any table, then column option will appear over the top. Okay, so that we will talk about little later on. Now, let's say, for example, okay, let me take you, this was about the left side. Now, let me take you to the rightmost side here. So again, we have three different options. Let me minimize this also. We have filters, we have visualizations, and then we have data. So data remain common for all the three views. Okay, now this visualization comes visible in the report view, wherein you will have a lot of visuals. If you see a lot of visuals here. These are the basic visuals already available in a free version. And if you, let's say, create your account also, and then you can avail the pro version also for free for the 60 days, but that is not required because here we have sufficient different charts which are available over here. Okay, and then here we will do the drag and drop. I'll show you how to do. And then if you want to do some changes in terms of the aesthetics and the look of your specific chart, then we will be using this format here because we only have the page, so we can format the page as of now. And if you click on the visual, then the visual aesthetics you can change in terms of their colors, their background colors, their conditional coloring. A lot of options we have over here, right? And then here we have filter. So filter also out of here it is shown two types because we don't have any visual. So we have filter on this page, filter on all the pages of the reports we have, or filter on the specific visual you want to have it. And in the BI tools, we have one or more very specific thing that is known as interactiveness. So we have interactiveness that is by default, and we can do the changes also with respect to the different visuals, that interactiveness should open or not, or should be enabled or not. So that is again on the later side. So this is about the view. And then let's say until unless we connect any data, we are not able to understand much about it. So what we are going to do is let's try to understand this data first. So let me take you to the data here. So this is my AdventureWorks database. It's a very nicely prepared data set, I'm telling you. This is AdventureWorks, a hypothetical company created by Microsoft, wherein it's a bicycle accessory and the bicycle selling marketing company selling the product in multiple part of the world. Okay, so here you see we have a calendar table. So calendar table has nothing to do with whatever information of the company we have. Okay, it's just a simple plain calendar table wherein we have a lot of information about the dates and the year, the quarters, the fiscal year, fiscal quarter. You can see all the information. We have it in this, right? Weekday, weekends, lot of information. So we also learn how to create these kind of a calendar table. For example, if you want to understand the sales in comparison with the weekday sales and the weekend sales, so if we have a column, then we can easily achieve that. Instead of writing any formula or something, if we have a specific column in a table and that table is completely related, then the BI can bring that result within fraction of seconds, right? That's why these kind of calendar table, the enrich expanded calendar table generally built by the data analyst. Then can you see here, we have a list of the customer. So in the list of the customer, you see here, we have a customer key. Now this key will be a unique key or unique column, which is going to get related in the other tables as well. I'll show you. For example, if I go here in the sales table, you see a product key, then you see a customer key, promotion key, sales territory key. Can you see a customer key here? So for example, the first order was done by the 21768 customer. So one customer can have same name, like two customer can have same name, sorry, but both the two customers who have the same name will have the same different customer key. And that's why providing the unique key to each and every customer, to each and every product, to each and every services, to each and every sales orders is very mandatory. So that in future, if we are going to compare, do the comparative analysis could be done easily. Okay, so that's one of the very important aspect. Now, so in the sales, you see, we have a sales territory key. So the first order was sold or was shipped in the territory 6. Now, how would I know that which is the place in the earth we have a 6 number? So for that matter, you have to come here in the territory key and you'll be able to see that 6 is Canada. So the rest of the other information can be found in the other table, but both the tables have one common connection that is known as sales territory key. This type of a data set generally known as the related data. We have related tables with the some specific common connections. In general, in the other source of data manipulations, we generally termed it as the foreign key. So this is the main column which is directly related over here in the sales data set. So this column is known as the foreign key, which is a main key in my other table. Okay, so that's a relationship. And I'm telling you, the BI have a by default functionality to identify these kind of a connection autonomously. Okay, so here it will autonomously identify this connection and do the relationship for you. You don't have to do that as well. Let's experience this. So this is territory, this is sales, this is product, this is customer, and then we have a calendar over here. Now let's try to connect this data with my Power BI. So let's see how we can do that. So for that matter, now I'll show you one again very important thing. Can you see this get data over here? So it was suggesting me the get data. So I'm just clicking on the down arrow here first. Now, when you click on this down arrow, this is very important. These are few commonly used data sources. Now, if I click on the more, then you will be able to see that we have a scrollable sources of the data which could be connected. Can you see that? It's a never ending list. Every year, every month, they are updating. Right, so can you see that Azure Databricks can also be connected? Then Dataverse also can be connected. We have a lot of options. So data from any damn source can be connected. So, but currently we have a very small requirement. We have to connect only the Excel file. So you'll be selecting this Excel file and then clicking on connect. Right, and then we have to select this AdventureWorks database. Now please see here, establishing the connection is one thing. Once it has established the connection, then it will show the data as a preview on the navigator. Can you see this navigator here? Now, in this navigator, can you experience that we were having only 5 tables, but here it is showing 10 tables, right? So if I go back here, you see we have 5 tables, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in my Power BI, it is showing me 10 tables. So the tables which is having the top blue column, a top blue row, these all 5 are the suggested table. When I say suggested, that means the Power BI engine is when you're trying to connect the data and loading the data from that data source, it has already experienced and analyzed that data and trying to suggest you some changes. For example, this data is completely prepared data. The data which I was referring, that you might not have to do any kind of a transformation. So this is that kind of a data wherein no transformation required. Okay, so can you see over here, this top blue top here, these are all some suggested. So that's why few name changes was suggested by the BI tool engine. But we are not seeking that suggestion as of now because we already have a pre-prepared structured form data with us. So what we are going to do is we are going to select only the raw sheets. Raw sheet means complete white. These are raw sheet. Raw sheet means as it was loaded, it is being shown over here. And if I click on any of the table, it's going to show me the preview of that data. Can you see it is exactly in the same form? Okay, now, and it is not mandatory to select all the tables. It's up to you, whichever table you want to understand, you can just simply do that. Sure, Jawad, you will be receiving the recording also. You can go ahead and see the recording later on. Thank you so much. Now see, let me click on it. Let me click on it. So what I did over here is I have selected all the 5 tables. Okay, so only the raw tables here. So this was suggested. I'm not looking for any suggestion. If I would require it, I will be clicking on the transform. Now come to the right bottom side over here. Transform the data is something wherein if you want to transform it, we have already extracted. Now we'll be transforming and loading. But here it's already transformed data. So we are going to connect this load. So that's very, very important. Load. So I have selected my all the 5 tables. And then if I click the load, then what it's going to do, it's going to extract all the information from those Excel sheets, right? All the tables, and going to load on my BI tool here. Okay, without any transformation as of now. Let me click on load. So you'll see everything here. Can you see? It was damn fast. Oh my God. Okay. Now it's going to apply. See this, it's loading now. And in this loading, by default, it's trying to analyze the data modelers also. And you will amaze to see that the data model was also built autonomously. See this, all loaded. See this. This is my calendar on the right side. You want to see all the columns? Can you see here? I just click on the down arrow and are you able to see all these columns? So that's the amazing part. And let me click on this customer. We have all the columns, product, all the column. Now, before moving anything or moving forward, I'll just show you this data view. That's table view here. See this, that's my calendar. Can you see this all information in front of you? Then we have customer table. Then we have product. Now let's say this is my sales. Now I would like to see the sales amount. I'm just clicking on this. It will take you to that place. See this. That's taken to you the sales amount. Let me click on the order date. It will take you to the order date. If I go and click on the customer and see the full first name or full name of the customer, it will take me to the full name of the customer. So this is how all these columns are available to you over here. And these will be acting as a field which is available to you as a drag and drop. You can just simply drag and drop, and achieve the comparison right away. So this is about the data view. Here you can just view the data and understand it. Okay. Now the very important stuff, model view. Everyone just see over here, because here a little bit, I'll do a little bit of thing over here is, sorry. This is a little bit expanded. So can you see at the bottom right side, this is shown 100%. I'll click on this minus. Okay, reducing the size of it right now. And can you see this? This is my sales. And you'll be able to see that sales is auto connected with the territory. That relationship is auto understood by the BI engine. How they have understood? Due to the same name and the same information filled in that both the table. Can you see if I just hover on this line, you'll be able to see that sales territory key is connected to the sales territory key of the sales table. Similarly, if you see this calendar, it is left out. Why? Because it has not found any kind of a same name and same common data type of the columns available in both the table. Okay, now if you see the customer also is being created autonomously. It is one to many, one here and asterisk over here. That means the one value of the customer table could appear multiple time in the sales transactional table. Of course it is, right? One product could be multiple time appearance you will see in the sales table. That's why this is one to many also. This is known as cardinality. So the cardinality is the way both the tables are connected. So that is also auto detected by the BI tool. Okay. Now let this data model be as it is and keep this calendar left behind Let's see the problem and then see the solution also. Okay, so first, let me show you a kind of a problem. If this model is not built properly, then what kind of problem could occur? And then after that, let's try to solve it. Okay, so this data is already like almost pretty much same, right? So this is your model view, and that was your data view, and this is your report view. Now you have all the view with you. Now let me show you a very basic visual, how we can get started with the visual over here. Let me go to the visualization and let me take a pretty simple card. Card means just I want to show the value. So can you see on the first 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth option. So let me take this fifth and just left click on it. So you will see one particular visual comes in front of you. You can drag and drop it any like this. And now how I can show the value. There are multiple ways to do that. I'll show it to you quickly. One very important stuff I would like to show, like in that whole Excel file, I would like to show the total sales done by the organization. Now, how many total samples we have in it? Let me go to the data view and let's try to see. Can you see at the bottom? This is customer. So let me click on the sales and then you will see we have around 58,189 rows. So we have this much number of rows, means number of samples. Always remember, the rows are always termed as the number of samples and columns are always termed as the attributes. So if somebody says you how many features or how many attributes you have in your data, you have to count the number of columns. If somebody asks you how many samples you have of your data, that means you have to count the number of rows and then tell the answer. Okay, now let me go back. So if you see over here, this is my plain card. Let me take the sales and search for the sales amount. Drag. Can you see this is drag and droppable? If I drag it and then drop it over it, this is one option. You will see the value. Okay. Now let me uncheck this. I don't want. The next option is if you drag, then where you can drop. Can you see this? One option, fields, add the data fields here. Just simply drop it over here. Okay. Now, can you see this? I just dropped the sales amount, which is having 58,000 plus samples, but that is autonomously detected by the BI tool and suggested you a aggregated function. That is summation of the sales amount, that you might not be interested in all the 58,000 samples, and you might be interested in the aggregation of it. So that's again the auto suggestion. And not only the summation, if you click on the down arrow, can you see this down arrow here? If you click on this down arrow, these are all the possible aggregated function that is by default available. So again, here also you're not writing any formula and you're achieving, let's say, maximum value of it, minimum value of it, and average of it. Let's say summation. So that's one thing. Okay. Now you can resize it. That is okay. If I want to change this specific view of it, because this is pretty much simple black and white. So if I would like to change the aesthetic of this specific card, then how would I do it? So for that matter, I just told you a little bit before that this is here. We can build the visual. We are here. Can you see this arrow? On the right side here, can you see this format your visual? So whatever visual you have selected here, you can just simply click on it. Can you see this? This is call out value, category label, and then general. So let's say, for example, I would like to add the background. So I can just simply add the background here. And then let's say, for example, visual border, I can just simply check like this and then shadow. I just selected three things: background, visual border, and shadow. And can you see this little bit change in it, right? So let me close it. So that's my one simple thing. Second, let's say, for example, I don't want to show it in millions because that was also by default. And this is looking very bad, like summation of sales amount. I don't want that as well. How would I do it? So for that matter, again, I'll go in the format visual, call out value. Call out value. Can you see this display unit? I don't want it. I don't want none so that I can see all the value. So this is one. Okay. But let's say I would like to show it in thousand. So let's say 1,000 here. Okay. Now keep millions only. So this is million. Okay. Now This is up to you. You can change it. Category label, do you want to show it? No. So that it's gone. But here I'm not able to understand what is this 29.31 million. I don't know what it is. So I'll again go back in general, switch on the title, and then write the title here. That is total sales. So you'll have a title over top. Now this is looking not at all good. So what I'm going to do is I just make it a little bit bolder, right? And then let's make it a little bit bigger in size and just change the background color, make it a little bit darker. Okay, and make it centrally aligned here. And now let's say something like this. Okay, I'm not making it more visually appealing, just to give you a glimpse of how we can do the changes in it. So this is now looking a little bit more better than the previous chart, right? So this is 29.31 million total sales done. That is okay. So we have done right from that normal basic white, black and white. Now a little bit this. Now very important stuff. This is in currency, but can you see any currency sign over here? No. So that's pretty problem. So here I have to change my sales amount from the normal number and I have to format it into a currency. How would I do it? That's again a question. How would I do it? For that matter, go to the sales amount, click on the sales amount. I told you before, if you click on the column, then the column option will comes over there top. Yeah, sure, Miraj, you can take that break, no problem. But I'll continue a little bit slower, but I'll remain in continue motion. You can go and take an immediate break. Okay, now see this. This is sales amount. I would like to change the format. If I click on the table, so can you see over the top table tools, right? If I click on the sales amount, can you see that we have column tools? Can you see this formatting? This is the formatting, right? So can you see this now? If I click on this dollar, see this, now it is changed to dollar, and always it's better practice. See, this is showing 29.31. This is okay. Otherwise I can remove the decimal. That is totally depends on the requirement to requirement. Here you want to keep the dots, no problem. Otherwise we can just have this 0 decimal places, but in millions this decimal also matters a lot. So that's 29 million approximately. Okay, so this is how we can do the formatting. Now this is actual your sales. Okay, now I will show you the problem. Now let's say, for example, this is the total sales. Now I would like to segregate the sales in comparison with the years. So I would like to know how many years of data I have in it. And I would like to do the sales segregation with respect to the different years. Now how I can do that? Let's see. For that matter, let's say I don't want to show any bar chart or something. I would like to display everything in a table. So this is my table. Okay. In this table, I would like to display the years. Now, how will I get the information of the year? I have created a separate calendar table for that matter only. I'll click on the down arrow of this. I will search for the year. I can just simply click on this year, which is at the last column of my calendar. And let's say if I'm not able to find it, then in the search bar, you can just simply write year. Okay, and then from this calendar, you can take this year and drag it and drop it. Now, how to drag and drop? Let me show you. This is which particular visual is selected? The table. Okay, in the table, can you see these columns and add the field here as a additional column? So this column is added. Okay, no, this is from date. No, I don't want it from the date. I want only the year. Year. I want this one. Yeah. So this year I'm looking for only the year. Yeah, this one, the last one, only the year. Right click and drop. So I wanted to show you this thing. See, we are talking about that BI is very intelligent, but here we have taken the year from my calendar, and can you see again it has suggested me the summation of the year. Do I look for a summation of the year? No, but it is in the number form. That's why this summation is suggested. So how would I get rid of this particular summation? Again, I'll click on the down arrow and see this. I'm going to select this don't summarize. If you don't summarize, then it will show you the distinct value of it. 2014, you might see many times, but this is 2014, 15, 16, 17. Okay. Now, can you see this is very small font? So I would like to increase the font. So for that matter, again, I'll go in the build, but this time the format is going to happen for the table. So that's why table options you will see. Okay, now I won't like to increase the font. So let me write the font here, font size. So can you see that global font size? Let me make it 16. So that's 16. I think this is much pretty much visible. So we'll take this one, or let me make it 18. So this is okay. Now, let me go back to the visual here. Now, what I want to compare, I would like to compare the sales amount. So let me search for the sales amount. Let me write the sales amount. Sales amount. So we can see the sales amount, drag this and drop it over here. Okay. Now, okay, guys, now your work. Can you see the sales amount of each year? Can you see any kind of a problem? I would like to see the prompt on the chat, please. Is there any problem? If yes, please tell me the problem quickly. Yeah, so we have the same amount, right? So that's a big time problem over here. Everything, every column is showing the same value everywhere. So, and that is also equal to the total sales. That's a problem. Now let's see. Yeah, total is a problem here. So this is something, whenever you see such problem, the one thing which you will learn over here is, yeah, when you see the same value, then there is a problem of the either the connection is not established between the two tables selected. We have selected one attribute from the calendar and one attribute from the sales. Okay. And that's a problem over here is because we don't have any connection between the calendar and the sales. That's why the data of the sales is not traversed with respect to the attribute of the calendar. So if you don't have any legitimate connection between the two tables, you cannot do that comparison here. So always go to your model, data modeling view, and try to sort the problem out. So this is immediate information. Okay, if you see the same value somewhere in the columns, go back to your data model view, correct the connection, and see the results right away. Yeah. Now just see how we can do that. Let me show you. Let me go to the model view. Now, if you don't see the common connections, always seek for a common data type. For example, we have a date in the calendar and we have an order date. So let's say if we don't match the same date, but might be the month would be matching or the year would be matching. That's why we can extract the information, because date is not a single information. It's a hierarchy of the information. We have a year information, month information, or we have date information also. Right. So what we can do is we can actually match the data type and then drag it. How to establish the connection? You have to just drag and drop. I mean, no difficult task which we have over here. Just hold the left click. Then can you see that now the date is movable? It's moving. And now wherever you want to build this connection, you just drop it over that specific attribute. You will see that the connection is established. And when I hover on it, you see the date and the order date is connected with each other. Now, if the connection is proper, yes, of course, everyone will get the recording. Okay, don't worry. Now, let me show you the report view. I have not done anything else, only drag and drop of this field. You see the magic happening over here. Now the proper connection is established between the both the tables, and you see the segregation of data right away in front of you. So just to achieve the comparison of the years sales, I have not done anything. I've just established the connection between the two tables. That comparison comes in front of me right away. That's the advantage. Okay. Otherwise, like I have seen one comment over here that inner join and then full join, then see again that technicality comes into play of the SQL queries. Now that same technicality is being hidden from the someone who is from non-technical background and who don't understand that joins. You need to just establish the proper connection. That join accessing will be handled by the BI engine, and that's why it is being accepted everywhere. So see, if I would like to do that comparison, we can see it right away. Okay, so that's one thing. I hope you understand this specific part, how I did that yearly comparison right away. Now let's say if the connection is established properly, I'll show you a simple bar chart. For example, this is my clustered bar chart, which is like having a vertical lines and the vertical bars can appear. Similarly, let's say I would like to know how many in products, how many categories we have in the product. Can you see we have subcategory? Let's say categories are, I think, 3 only. So let me take the subcategory of the products. So subcategory now very important part over here is Swami is asking anything. Amount, number, format is not same, not in millions. Of course, here not in millions because this is that specific formatting was with respect to the visual because we were doing it over here in the format. That's why only this visual was affected. Here, if you want to make changes, you have to select this visual, then come to this formatting and then start doing it over here for the values. Can you see these are the values? And if I go down, you might see this is related to the colors. Okay, no, we cannot do with that colors. Okay. Okay, so where is it? Specific column. Let me come down. This is year. No, I would like to change the summation of sales amount, then come down. These are the values. Can you see this display units now? And then we can make it thousands. Now, can you see? Now it is in thousands. So it is with respect to the specific visual. Very good question. So now I have just changed it to thousands. Okay. Now let's say, for example, this is my bar chart. I have selected this one. So let me click on this. Always remember, whenever you are trying to drag and drop any specific field for any specific visual, make sure that you have selected that visual first. Okay. Now I have selected this visual. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this subcategory. Now where to put it? On the y-axis, on the x-axis. Now here the knowledge of the 2D graph will come into picture. Always remember, or I think we all must know it, that this is the x-axis and that's the y-axis. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have to put in on the y-axis I have to put in the values, the categories. So let me take the subcategory and put it in the y-axis over here. So that's the subcategory. Right now it's not showing because it doesn't have any value to show. So I'm going to do the comparison again with the respect of the sales amount. So let me take the sales amount and put it in the x-axis. As soon as you do that, can you see this? Because the sales of these three things are too high that we are not able to see this thing. But I wanted to show you a few things. That's why I just do the comparison over here. So this is my summation of sales amount with respect to my subcategories. Okay. Now, again, this is looking a very basic chart, which like generally we have it in the Excel as well. Okay. Now let me do a little bit formatting of this. What kind of formatting? Can you see this is bars? So just directly go here in the bars. And before that, let me show you this data labels. Just switch it on as a button. So you're able to see the data labels over here. And because it is in millions, that's why this is all zero. Okay, so that's why it is in million. That's why it is showing 0. Now let me show you this bar. Let me go up a little bit. So can you see this color here? Now this color right now, it's normal color. I can change it to any, let's say, for example, I make it, let's say dark orange. So that's a single color only. But these days, these color doesn't work. So what kind of color works here? These nowadays, we have a gradient based coloring that changes with respect to the values. Like from the minimum to the maximum, you see the gradients of the colors. Okay, so those type of coloring is known as conditional coloring. So how to present that conditional coloring within any of the chart of the BI, Power BI specifically. So let's say, can you see this FX over here? Let me click on the FX. See this format style. What type of format style you want to have? Let's say I can have field values, I can have rule, I want to have gradient, sorry. So gradient with respect to what? With respect to subcategory? No. With respect to the sales amount. So I'll be selecting the sales amount. So instead of search, I'm just writing it. That summation of sales amount, that is fine. Now you want how many colors? You want only 2 colors, or you want to add a middle color also? Okay, so let's say, for example, I would like to start right from the gray. Let's say this lighter color to have a little, let's say, yellowish, and then go to the darker one, which is, let's say, this one. Okay, so that's my range of the colors I'm deciding, and then click OK. As soon as you do that, then you'll be able to see these colors here, the changes in the color. Okay, now let's say I don't want this subcategory summation of sales, that's the range of the color, so I just want to get rid of it. So to get rid of it, again, you go over here and go in general, and this is title, this is header icon. Header icon, I don't know, tooltip, I want it. So from where I can remove this is known as legend. Yes, so let me just switch off the legend. So can you see this now? The legend is off. So we have a simple category, subcategory wise changes. It is showing you the labels also, and we have experienced the conditional coloring as well. Okay, now increase in the size, then making them bold, and then changing their backgrounds, that you can do it later on easily. For example, this is my background, right? And then this is my visual border, that's my shadow. So we can do it just to make it more aesthetic wise, more beautiful. But this is simple idea for you just to go ahead with this thing. Okay, so that's my another example of the chart. The combination of these charts actually become a proper report. Okay, so I'll show you one more thing just to give you another idea. I'll just show you one more thing, that is how to use. We have already experienced this view data. We have already experienced this visualization also, like drag and drop the things. And this thing is remaining, which is filters. So, okay, so to show you the filters, I want to have one information. Okay, so now I think those who have already experienced the BI, they might connect more better with me. And for those who don't have the experience, they are also already experiencing it right now, and I will show them by doing it. I want to know my top 10 customers. Very simple question. Top 10 customers on the basis of the purchasing. The more they have purchased, the best customer they are. So who have purchased most of the time, and let's say in terms of revenue, they've generated more revenue for the company, they are the top liking customer of mine. So I would like to segregate my all customer list in terms of revenue generated. So just a list of top customer list on my dashboard I want all the time. And that could change also as the days passes. Your Excel get increased, and then your transaction get increased. Your might new customer coming up purchasing more from you. That might you might have a real-time change in that data as well. That generally you always see it when you play game. Nowadays all the games are connected, and we play it remotely with our peers. Then you see the leaderboard always keeps on changing. That's a real-time data changes. Okay, similarly over here also, I would like to show the top 10 customers and how we can present that. That is more important for me. Now let me show you how we can do that. I hope you understood the question, so let me see how to bring that answer out here. So this is my customer. Okay, customer table, and to display that I would like to have a table only. So let me click on the table, and you will see, if I would select the full name and put it here in the column, then you see a huge list. See this, there's a huge list of the customers, huge list, because we were having approximately 18,000 customers. Okay, now and so this is my customer. Now let's say the customer is already connected with my sales. So just to verify that, I'll go back to my data model, and can you see this is my sales, this is my customer, and it is already been connected. The customer key is connected with my sales here. So if I would like to see that Adam Aaron, how many sales was done when the Adam Aaron purchased something in total. Okay, so for that matter, I don't have to do any comparison, any kind of formulation here, I just have to go in the sales, take the sales amount. And can you see now this is a problem here? Because my table is not selected, that's why here we are not able to see the full name of the customer. So what I have to do is, before dragging and dropping, I have to go back, select the visual here, then go back over here, sales amount, and then drop it. As soon as you drop it, can you see magically all the sales amount is in front of us? The one very important thing, I don't want this total because I already have a total in my dashboard view. So I don't want this total. So again, if you want to make any damn changes within your visual, you have to go back here, format your visual, and then you have to search for the total and switch it off. Okay, now you have a very proper this thing table. Let me increase the size of it. So let me write font, and then let me make it 15. Okay, now this is a very huge list we have, scrollable list. First task is to arrange it in the descending order. How I can do that? Okay, now this is another task which we have not done it yet. How to sort your specific table. So can you see these three dots? These three dots are very important. If you click on it, you have a lot of options. Can you see the last option, that is sort by? How you want to sort it, with respect to alphabetical characters or with respect to the sales amount. Let me select the sales amount here. Now the sales amount is selected. Can you see the Turner Jordan? That is the maximum sales, and then so on. Now, but here there is no option to select the top 10 only, because again, still it is a scrollable. So again, it's a scrollable, but what we have to do is we have to only select the top 10. Rest, I am not looking for those. So now for that matter, your filters comes into picture. You have to make sure that you have selected your visual and then come to your filters. And can you see the third option over here is filter on this visual, filter on this page, filter on all pages. So currently I'm not concerned with filters on all the pages. Filters on this page, no, I'm only concerned over here, which is filter on this visual. And what I have to do is I have to filter out the full names on the basis of the sales amount. So I'll click on the down arrow of the full name. Can you see the filter type? This is basic filtering selected. I don't want it. I want the top N filtering. That's the third option. And please remember, the third option of top N will only appear in filter on this page. Sorry, filter on this visual. If you check filter on this page, if you check filter on all the pages, you will not find this top N. Okay, so I'll select the top N, then show items. How many top items you want to show? 10. By what value? So again, you have to play that drag and drop. Let me close this. So this is my sales amount. Let me go over here and drag and drop this over the value. Summation of sales amount. As soon as you click on apply, you will see only top 10 customer of yours. So these are my top 10 customers who purchased and generated the maximum sales out of the whole 18,000 something number of customers we have over here. Okay, so this is how we can apply the filtering. Now this filtering is only affecting this. That's it. Okay, so this is about the filtering over here. Little bit complicated, but yes, not very difficult also. Once you do it 2-3 times, because right now you are just listening, but once you try to do it by yourself, then you might come across with a little bit of problem 1 or 2 times. So when you go through that video again, then it will be a better learning for you. Okay, so this is simple. Top 10 customers in front of us. Now, okay, now let's say for an instance, so are you, have you guys understood anything till now in these 4 charts, please? Just give me a little idea. Okay, okay. Yes, of course, the practice is required, and I always emphasize more on it. It's always very important to keep on doing it. And generally in my sessions, what I do, I always do it, like, make it a parallel activity. Few tasks I do it, and then I make the other person also do it right away in front of me, so that if you are coming across with some problem, then we can just rectify it. Total sales amounts, top 10 customers in the category that is sold most. Yes, of course, we can do that also. See, it's all about the requirement of the clients, what kind of view they want to see it. And then on the basis of that, we can just select it. And now, yeah, this, as you have selected one single. Uh, now, I'll show you. This is known as sorry, I was mentioning you that the one important aspect of the BI tool is the interactiveness. If I select any specific customer, you see the all the things get changed here. This is condition, this is interactiveness. All the visuals are interactive by default, and when I click on any of the visual, it just changes. Okay, now I'll show you. For example, this interactiveness is by default. We can switch on and off that interactiveness also, because right now we are not looking for that interactiveness. That will not impact any of my visual, and like almost it create more problem as if it is creating right now. But that interactiveness comes in very handy, right? For example, this is sales and this is also sales. Now let me show you one important stuff. This is slicer. Okay, now let me click over here. This is my slicer. Now in the slicer, I would like to show the different regions where my company is selling the products. So these are all the regions. I don't want it like this. I want to like it as a tiles, as a buttons. So for that matter, I'll go here in the visual. Can you see this slicer setting? Can you see this slicer style is vertical? I would like to change it as a tile so that you will have a tile over here. Can you see this is nice tile? Let me make it in a two only. Yeah. So can you see this NA? So I would like to filter out this NA. I don't want it. So as soon as you see you need a filtering, what I have to do, you have to click on this filtering, regions, only basic filtering, just remove this, select all and get rid of this NA. So you can see that we already have it. And then let me put it as font here. Okay, now this is text font. Is it getting changed? No, that's that. It is changing, right? So this is your slicer setting. These are the values. Let me check now. Can you see that? Oh my God. Let me make it bolder and make it, yeah, see this. Now this is fine. Now why I did this? Just change this one. Let's see this one only. Total sales. Now if I select United Kingdom, can you see? Now with respect to the United Kingdom, everything changes. The customer list also changes. So now you don't have to do anything. You don't have to create separate sheet for this comparison. I would like to see the sales in Australia and I want to analyze it. Just click on Australia. Can you see this? 9 million sales. These are the customer top 10 customer list of the Australia only. Canada, Germany, Northeast, Southeast, US, United Kingdom, Southwest. That is the amazing part. And that's what the interactiveness I was talking about. Okay. So the one simple task which I remember is one of the CRM output I received from one very big trading brokers. They used to operate in all the countries, almost all the countries, and they were having the data. And they were having approximately more than 300 salespeople who were making the calls every day. And we wanted to, like, they wanted to have a proper dashboard wherein they can actually analyze their specific calling efficiencies and the outcomes. For that matter, we utilize this kind of slicer with the tiles wherein they can click on any of the region and then they can see with respect to that region, that comparison with 7-8 visuals that comes in front of them right away. So that was the amazing part. They were very amazed to see that this information our analyst used to take more than 2 to 3 days whenever we give them any specific data plus the information that this, and just to bring out that specific information they used to take 2 to 3 days. And this is in this tool, it's just happening within minutes of time. So that is the amazing part here. And I was also like very much fascinated with this thing, like by just clicking on this, the whole data. Now, how this is happening? This everything is happening. The data ingestion plus the data calculation, everything is happening because at the back end there is a proper pipelining and the data connection which is already built with respect to your data model. So all the technical stuff is done at the back end by just connecting this. And because of this channelization of the data, this you're able to see this kind of interactiveness. When the sales trade with respect to the Northeast here in this region, all the sales data is being segregated. And that's what happening over here. So this is about little bit about the specific BI, wherein I just made you experience few of the things, but almost instead of like only remaining the DAX, rest filter also you have seen, slicer you have seen, interactiveness you have seen, how to connect the data you have seen, and have experienced a little bit out of it. Now let's say for example, I don't know how many quantity of products we have sold. What do you say? The DAX function also, how we can write it. So for that matter, my question is how many products in total the company have already sold it? I don't know. So I would like to know it. So I don't have any, like in the sales also, I only have the order quantity, but I don't have the total sales quantity. Okay, so I can easily bring it. I can just drag and drop and I can find the summation of the sales, summation of the order quantity. I can do it easily. Right. Now, if I would like to know how many total customers I have, so I don't have the count of that, right? So total customer, I would like to put it as one of the card like this also. This is total sales. I would like to do the copy paste. Now this is a Microsoft product. The same thing copy paste will work over here also. So that is few of the thing which we generally use to do it most of the time, copy paste. So this is my copy paste, but this is showing me sales only. I would like to change it. Instead of sales, I would like to show you the total customer. Okay, total customers. I would like to show it over here. Now, how would I do it? So I don't have any direct column field which I can just simply drag and drop. So for that matter, I'm going to create some calculations. So how would I do it? So for this, can you see over the top? I've not selected anything. Okay. Now let me go in the customer. Let me click on the customer. So can you see a table tool here? In the table tool also, you can see the calculations. In the calculation, can you see different type of calculation? Now this is new measure. So can you see here, if I just hover on it, write a DAX expression to calculate a value from your data. Now this is aggregated value. Measure is always about aggregated value. A new column is actually a creating of a new column wherein it will have all the value with respect to each and every sample. So that is known as row context, row. So this is your row context and this new measure is your aggregated value. It will be showing only one single value. So let me click on the new measure because I want a single value. Can you see the editor over here? So as you write the formula in the Excel, you have to write the formula right away over here. Let's say total customers. This will be termed as the name of the column, or not the column, name of the calculation. And can you see over here the sign of the calculation? That's a measure, kind of a calculator over here, equals to. Now, can you see a little bit suggestion? I'm just writing count. Can you see multiple type of counts which are there? So these are all the DAX functions. Okay, I'm going to use the simple count over here. I'll select this. And can you see it is again suggesting that kind of the column field I would be requiring. Let's say I would need the customer key. So this is my customer and just search for the key over here. I don't know where it is. Yeah, can you see this? No, not this customer key. Where is my customer key? Yeah, here. So that's my customer key over here. And then close the round brackets. Okay, so this is the formula which I'm writing. 80% of time, the suggester will do the thing for me. So I don't need to bother about the syntax. Don't need to bother about this thing. And generally, we have a full list of the formulas, so of like how we can use it. with example also provided by the Microsoft itself. So if we understand how to write the formulas, then we can always seek that specific knowledge from that PDF, and we can search for that formula. Now let me click on it, enter. So when you press the enter, then you will see that in that same table, you have this total customer. Now this is total customer. It will act as only one variable value. Now I would like to display this value over here. So first you have to make sure that you have selected the customer, then drag this total customer and just replace this value. So we have 0 million, right? Because the formatting was done for the million. So I have to go back in my formatting, call out values, and then get rid of this million and just make it auto. So it is showing me 18K. I want the exact. So just do it none. Now, can you see this? We have 18,484 customers. So this is how you can just show the different customers you have. Simple idea, just a simple count we have created. Okay. So this is little about almost all the things which I have shown you over here in the presentation. Here, elements. I've shown you how to connect the data. ETL, the transformation, we have not seen it because the data was completely formatted. Modeling, you have already experienced. Function, we have just seen it. Data visualization, few of the experiences you have already seen it. So out of that, you have seen those 4 steps, pretty important 4 steps, right? So this is about the BI, which I was talking since the beginning and since the starting of the session. Now, this is the specific tool, not only Power BI, but why we take the Power BI into consideration, because first is, I think you have already experienced, it is pretty much easier to understand, right? And not pretty difficult in terms of where to select, what to select. So that is the easiness we have. So let me save this whole thing. Let's say session demo documents so that I can share it with you also. So data you already have. So let me just share with everyone this thing, and then I'll show you. So this is the PBIX file. You will not be able to open it until unless you have the Power BI. This is just for your reference. We will upload it on the LMS as well. So whenever you see the recording, you will see this session also, plus this PBIX file. PBIX file will also be there. User-friendly interactive reports you can create. So if you understand the client requirement and if you have a hands-on experience on this, you can easily build those nice looking dashboards which can like speaks more than thousands of words instead of showing those tabular information. See, this is the tabular information, and from this we have created that specific report, not report, but just such combination of such this thing. So this is the glimpse of the BI which I have given you. Now, what I would like to show you over here is, as I have already given you the idea that here in Acods and Metafiser, what generally we do is we emphasize more on practical implications. So we have different programs on the data analytics, keeping in mind the different verticals of the industry, which I showed to you. Like if you are from the sales and marketing background, or you are going to do the job in the sales and marketing, so how you can leverage the power of data analytics in the data in the sales and marketing field, or if you are from the logistics and supply chain, then how to actually leverage the power of data analytics. So it's not about only learning the tool, but learning the tool and right away apply it in your specific domain. Because when you are, let's say, doing some program, and if that program as a working professional is not directly applied within your work or within your progress, then it is of no use. And that's why we have a specialization with respect to the domain. No matter you're from accounting and finance or banking, you have, you are going to experience that specific different data sets, that few of the dataset would be available over the open source platforms, and most of the datasets will not be available on the open source platform because those will be from our clients. We have some data already prepared as a, you can say, copy of those in a dummy form, so that you will experience that if you have a completely real and raw data, then how to process that. Because in open source platform also, most of the time you have a prepared data sets. So again, you get very good results on the open source platform dataset. But when you experience the real dataset of any organization, I am telling you, that is the most dirty dataset you will see. A few of you might connect with me on that, and that's why if you understand how to process those different businesses data and then bring out that forecasting and prediction out of it, then you can actually put that in a more profound way in your profiles. So how to build that portfolio, so that whenever you apply for any specific job or any specific position, so your resume always on, let's say, top 10 percentage or top 20% applicants. That is very much required these days, because if it is not, then you're not going to get call out of it, right? So we have, so I've shown it 6 over here. If you are, let's say for example, 2 days back only I was talking with one of the product manager, and he was having some specific requirement. So not only that data analytics knowledge is required by him, it's like how that data analytics can bring some innovation within that product management. So that also we discussed, and then we come on to one specific conclusion, and we created a proper customized program for him, so that he can also delegate the same thing within his team members, because he is handling more than 30 people. 30 people is under him, and when he get upskilled in that way, then he can easily delegate the same work within that within that specific workforce. So that is the requirement of each and every one. So no matter you are from, let's say, higher management, you are at the director level or the manager level, but you have to grasp this knowledge. Okay, so this is about us. And little bit about the Acods, and you are already the part of the community, so you will receive a lot of information from us. So after this specific session, when I'm ending, so on the LMS and all the on the group, you are going to receive one link. In that you will be receiving one task. That task, from whatever I've told you today, there will be around 10 questions, and you have to build a dashboard as an answer of those 10 questions, and you have to submit on one of the email ID that is being written on that specific message only. Okay, so you have to just simply complete that task and submit it, and after that your certificate will be available on that specific portal. I hope you have already registered on the portal and you have joined it from there. If no, then just after this session you're going to receive one link. Just please click on it and then join that specific portal, so that you can download the, when I say LMS, that means there is one link of the accords.online, and you have to just register on that using your email ID, so that you can download your certificate, because certificate will be downloadable and shareable as well. So for that matter, not the WhatsApp group will only for the communication. You'll be receiving the link of the LMS, so that you can see the task, you can download the certificate. Okay, so we will be providing you right away, just after like few hours of the session. So this is it about your the session which I wanted to display you today, because I wanted to have I wanted to give you the glimpse of the BI, what kind of amazing stuff you can do it with it. And after that, until unless you have that complete hands-on experience, it is looks very nice, but of course you have to do it. Now, Nasir, okay, no. Now, see, this is Nasir. You have to speak to me one on one, because here it's like I just mentioned you, the product manager. So it's the custom requirement wherein the thing you are mentioning over here, yes, of course, the M language wherein we are writing from the advanced editor when we are editing those M queries. So we need to understand that as also, plus the advanced DAX functions wherein we are using the calculate, and then we are creating our own variables and then doing so much of mix and match. Yes, of course, we have that option also wherein we provide that specific kind of project based. Not only the project which we provide, sometimes it happens the client itself is having their own project, and we do provide the consulting of that also, so that you can complete your task in the specified time frame which is being given. So I've been giving the consultancy of this type, uh, wherein the task which is given to you and is simply uh, completed by all of us, right, all together. So I'm just sharing my email ID. So if you want to get connected with me, so that's my email ID. Okay. And let me show you my LinkedIn profile also. I'm just sharing you my LinkedIn profile so that you can just directly send the request. Okay. Not on this. Just a second. Yeah. So how to share? Let me click on this first. Yeah. Why my mouse is not working? So that's my LinkedIn profile. You guys can send the connection request. Let's get connected. That's for everyone. Yeah, of course. I have already provided in this chat itself, and I'll be uploading it everything on the LMS, and you will receive on the WhatsApp also just now. Just after the session, you will receive everything on the WhatsApp plus the link of the LMS to join. Okay. So, guys, if you have any other question for me, you can ask. Otherwise, it's really a very interesting session with you guys, and thank you so much for listening me patiently and answering all the question of mine, because I always like to make it interactive, and you really were the very nice audience to hear it and then grasp it also. Thank you so much for attending, everyone. So if you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, it's, I think, good enough for today. Timeline, everything you will receive, Jawad, because timeline, there is no as such timeline over here, but generally you get 48 hours to complete that task. It's not much of a difficult task, and we have a weekend approaching, right? So we can do it easily. 48 hours will be the timeline to complete that task. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.